Hey everyone, Blaze here, welcome back to another anime haul video. This is an interesting one. This is ADV Films, kind of surprising. This company's been effectively out of business. I mean, they do kind of still exist, putting out Elfin Lied for Ankino's Journey over and over and over again. But they've basically been out of business for like about 10 years now. And yeah, I've actually accumulated a bunch of older releases of theirs. Obviously, all of these are long out of print. And they're just titles that I've either picked up very cheap, a couple of them, and other ones are just ones I kind of missed and just kind of wanted to get. Fill in some gaps in the collection, fill in some eras of anime, just picking up some titles from certain era of anime that I really enjoy, and things like that. And I've actually even bought some art boxes. I've actually bought a lot of art boxes over like the last year, more than I should have done. Like proper old school art boxes with volumes in them. I don't have the space for them at all. In time I will. I just need to at some point stop buying anime and buy some shelves. Be really boring for a month, buy some shelves, put them up, and then you know, display all these art boxes that I've added to the collection. Hopefully, you know, have enough space for them all. So I've added a couple here today, which we'll have a look at from ADV Films. I have others I'll show you in a different video. So I don't really know where to begin because it's kind of a mishmash of all sorts of things. I'm eyeing up this over here. This isn't overly exciting, but since I've eyed it up, we'll start here. So one of the most classic fantasy series from the 90s, done by JC Staff, an iconic series, fantasy comedy adventure, was of course the Slayers franchise. And this is my collection, my complete collection of Slayers. So I actually have this. So this is all the OVAs and movies that ADV put out. So we got the motion picture, the Book of Spells, and all the rest of them, which I can't bother to name. I got this off eBay years and years and years ago as a complete set. At the time, I didn't realise how fortunate I was to have picked this up, because this comes in one of the unofficial ones. There were a couple of official ones that he did, but this is one of the unofficial ones. But yeah, this is one of those Paul Champagne, I can't remember. I think it's Paul Champagne, like, art boxes. I think he actually still makes these. I've seen people have them for quite modern series. I think he still makes these things. They're basically, you know, printed bits of metal and stuff. They look really cool, nice and shiny and everything. And yeah, this is a Slayers one. It's very, very nice. I used to have at least one more of these, which will actually, maybe, if I remember, we'll talk about it later, but I used to have at least one more of these, which in retrospect I kind of wish I kept, for many reasons, which we'll get into later. But yeah, isn't it cool the way it catches the light and stuff? It's a really, really, really nice set. There's nothing on the bottom. But anyway, yeah, that's all of that. And then, of course, I also have the complete TV series runs. We've got all the 3 original releases, and then the 2 newer ones, kinda. They're about 10 years old now as well, if not a bit older. I only have the DVDs for these. I heard that the Blu-rays were upscale, so I got the DVDs. Kinda, there's a part of me that wish I got the Blu-rays as well, but again, but as far as I'm aware, they are upscales. They don't look terrible from what I understand, but at the time I just picked up the DVDs, they matched everything else, and yeah. Wouldn't it be cool if we got some more Slayers? I feel like this is due another thing. It doesn't necessarily have to be a new TV series. In fact, in many ways, I think I'd rather a movie. Just another Slayers movie. It'd be interesting. Obviously it would be digital like these 2 seasons at the end were, but I'd be interested in it. But anyway, what's the new thing? Well, the new thing is actually something I've already got. It's just it's actually this case is currently empty, as I'll show you why in a minute, but I picked up the essential collection, or essential anime collection version of Slayers the motion picture. I've been wanting to buy this for a long time, a really long time. At the bottom it says digitally remastered in 5.1. I don't know if that means the original release. I mean, I do have it right here, so we can check, I guess. So here's the original release and the essentials release with the stupid banners on it. Doesn't say, it just says Dolby Digital. It doesn't say if it's 5.1. I would assume this has surround sound, this doesn't. But the thing that I really wanted, but was never going to go out of my way to spend a lot of money on, because this can go for quite a lot of money. A lot of the original OVAs and stuff and the movie parts of Slayers are quite expensive, they're long out of print and highly desirable. It's weird that this has never been re-released, although maybe on Monday Discotheque might spring a surprise, because even though the TV series stuff in Japan was upscaled on Blu-ray, unfortunately, all the movies and OVAs have proper HD scans, like proper transfers, and they look amazing on Blu-ray, and I feel like it's a question. I'm really surprised they haven't come out yet. They've been out in Japan for like 3 years. It's like, come on guys, it's Slayers. You think this wouldn't sell? This would totally sell. So just license it and put it out already. It's crazy. But maybe they will. But the reason I'd always coveted this DVD, despite already owning it, is they added a commentary track to this, which, yes, we've got commentary with Cynthia Martinez, who plays Lena in this, not Lisa Ortiz, and then Kelly Manison, who plays Naga, this is the other character there. She only appears in the movies and OVAs and stuff, but she's really fun. And Matt Greenfield, obviously the guy, co-founder of ADV, and probably the ADR director for this, I imagine. So yeah, I don't know, it's just something I kind of wanted. It wasn't included on the original release, and I figured if I ever see this going for cheap, I will pick it up. And finally it did appear for cheap on eBay for like, here in the UK, for like £10. I just bid on it immediately, no one outbid me, so I was quite fortunate in that regard. And yeah, I was able to pick up this, but this not in here. I'll just put this in storage. I just added the disc in here in a paper sleeve with the commentary disc. But yeah, you can see the difference. There's actually artwork on the new disc. But yeah, and then got the original insert and stuff. So yeah, I haven't actually listened to the commentary yet. I did have the commentary on my media PC and stuff, but I don't know. I always told myself if it ever appears on eBay for a price I deem worth it, which at £10 I figured it's probably never going to appear much cheaper than that, because it is quite a rare DVD. Yeah, I decided to bid on it and I won it. So yeah, my Slayers collection is now, unless you think the Blu-rays for... Why isn't this case closing properly? There we go. Unless you think the Blu-rays have to be included. My Slayers collection is complete, so that's cool. We spent too much time talking about that, but we spend too much time talking about everything. No matter how much I want to rush, it's impossible and never able to. Okay, next, since I'm eyeing this one up, we'll go with this. I haven't actually seen this series yet. I picked this up really cheap a while ago. This was before I dipped my toe into the Sentai Filmworks holiday sales. This appeared on eBay UK for about £25, which I could have gotten it cheaper since, but at the time it was just a crazy price. This was relatively new, and if I was to buy it through normal channels outside of Sentai's crazy holiday sales, it would have cost me somewhere in the region of 50 to 60 quid, and I picked it up for just 25, which is obviously a significant saving. Obviously I picked this up ages ago, but it's Ushio and Tora on Blu-ray. Yeah, so this is the I can't remember. I always think 2011, but that's obviously Hunter x Hunter that got remade in 2011. I don't know, I can't remember when this came out, around 2015, 2017, really? I don't know if that's a Sentai license, that might be the Sentai license. Anyway, whatever. So yeah, this is a full 39 episode series. I think originally when it broadcast it was 26 plus an extra 13. But yeah, we have the whole complete collection here. We'll just quickly show the disc art. It's a really nice disc art on this one. So yeah, a series I hope to enjoy, shonen series, but with supernatural demon slaying and the monsters and stuff. Something like that. It looks really fun. But obviously this isn't the only adaptation. There was an adaptation done in the 90s, an OVA series. I think it was about 10 episodes. I'd always wanted to pick it up. Yeah, but it had appeared on eBay UK a number of times, and I either bid on it and lost it, or at the time it appeared I just didn't have the money for it. And it was always the brick version, like the much fatter, wider case, which wasn't ideal anyway, because there was the other re-release which came in a much more compact case. And recently, it's been available on Right Stuff for years and years and years, pretty cheap. I just never got around to picking it up, I never prioritised it. But recently I found out that apparently it's gone out of print, or not out of print, it's been out of print for ages. It was no longer available on Right Stuff. I'm pretty sure that's still the case now. But anyway, when I found that out, I figured I better go and buy this while I can, so I missed out on Right Stuff, but I did go on eBay and still find it cheap. So I picked up the original OVA series in the nicer compact case of Ushio and Tora. So this is the original 10-episode OVA across 2 discs, 4.5 hours. So it's quite significant, basically a 13-episode series almost, 275 minutes. But yeah, I don't know which one to watch first, really. I assume this can't cover as much, obviously, as the other adaptations, so I might watch this one first, because I assume this will probably only cover the first 13 or slightly more episodes, maybe, of this version. And so yeah, I feel like I'll watch this, then go and eventually watch this version, and then get all the extra stuff that this version also has. So yeah, but yeah, happy to finally have this in the collection. It's been a long time coming. It's something I'm pretty sure I will enjoy. I don't know why it took so long for me to pick it up, but I have Ushio and Tora, the OVA. Okay, next up is a title that sort of stuff I've been trying to pick up a lot recently. Just before ADV went out of business, like you're talking within the year of ADV going out of business, they attempted, and I say attempted because some of these titles unfortunately never came to fruition. They attempted to put out a lot of their catalogue titles, TV show releases that they'd previously put out in giant art boxes or Finpack type art boxes. They attempted to re-release them in just simple keep cases, like normal standard DVD cases, the sort of stuff that I would rather pick up these days for the most part. And yeah, they managed to get a few out. Some of them they didn't, which is super disappointing. For example, Steam Detectives was listed to have a release of this kind. I forget, there was another one, I was just looking it up. I've been looking these up recently. I think it was Diamond Daydreams. I think that's what that series is called. Was meant to have one, but it never came to fruition, unfortunately. But one that did, I've been curious about this series for a long time. I don't expect to love it. It's very of its era, but I really like this era of anime. And I was really fortunate to pick up this particular release because it's quite expensive on the second-hand market, relatively, I guess. Cheapest I've seen it on eBay for the most part is about $50. I managed to get it for just 12 quid here in the UK. Just super fortunate. I put in the UPC code on eBay America, which is how I search for specific releases. It's not always the best way because not everyone obviously lists the UPC code in their descriptions and stuff, but it's a quick way to get an idea of, you know, is this thing relatively available and, you know, are people selling it, etc. Anyway, I put that in, and then on eBay America found those copies for $50, and it said down in the bottom that someone in the UK, a business in the UK, was selling it for just 12 quid. But it didn't have the picture. It was literally just one of those pictures. It was like a book or something. I think they were just like one of those power sellers that has thousands of items, and it's just everything's listed by UPC code. But at 12 quid, I was willing to take the risk. I was like, I'll buy that, and you know, if it's not the right item or if it's absolutely battered, I'll just get my money back. It came and it's in pretty much mint condition. I mean, it is in mint condition in my opinion. The only thing that it's got sticker residue on the front, which I can take off. That is, I think it's 2003. This series, 2003. I'm pretty sure. Mythical Detective Loki Ragnarok, which is a supernatural series with a slightly cutesy, more like Rosen Maiden or Negima type art style. Yeah, I think this might be shoujo. I might be wrong, but it kind of reminds me of that. But yeah, this is a series that I've never owned before. It's one of the few from this era that I was never able to track down in the art box. When I had that huge collection of art boxes, I had most shows that ever got an art box release between like 2001 to about 2004 or something. I had practically all of them. It was insane. but there are a few I didn't, and one of them was this. I was just never able to track it down at the time, and I've always kind of wanted the series, and for a long time I didn't actually realise it even had a compact release like this right at the end of ADV's life, but it did. So yeah, it's a complete series, 26 episodes on 4 DVDs, and yeah, it's basically Loki gets sent down. The legendary Norse god Loki has been banished from the heavens for unknown reasons by his father, Odin, and to make matters worse, he's been exiled to exist on Earth in the body of a child. And yeah, he ends up joining a Enjaku detective agency, and yeah, takes on paranormal and suspicious like divine interventions and stuff, and is also under constant threat by assassins deployed by Odin, apparently. So yeah, interesting series with a slightly cutesy art style, but yeah, I've been curious about the series for a long time. I really enjoy, as much as I love classic cell animation, and I most certainly do, one of my favourite eras, if not my favourite era of anime, is the original bubble period in America, which is like between 2001 to about 2005. That 4:3, square, full screen video, standard definition. I don't. It's just something about it. It's because that's what I cut my teeth on when I became an anime fan. That's where most of my nostalgia lies. Is in shows like Fullmetal Alchemist, Eureka 7, stuff like that. The original Fullmetal Alchemist, and I guess the original Eureka 7, because there's a lot of that now. But yeah, like that sort of era, and I just kind of want to see all the shows from that era, for better or worse, especially the ones that did come out in English officially. And yeah, so I was able to track this down for a killer price. It is a stack pack, and the case is quite wide considering this is only 4 discs, and yeah, it's a stack pack. So yeah, not the original disc. They're very simple discs. They load up, you get the ADV animations, which that's actually quite curious. This must have been very late stage. I've never seen it before. There's a very different ADV animation, logo thing on the video for this. There's also a very funny Anime Network trailer, which I've always enjoyed. Like, quick crying, you big baby. Go to the Anime Network.com and get hours and hours and hours of free anime. Shows like Clannad and Princess Resurrection, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, I really love that trailer. And there's a different one on here that I don't think I've ever seen before, and I really found it funny again. Those trailers are fantastic. I might rip one of those and put it on Twitter or something. It's really, really good. If you've not seen them before, which I'm sure most of you have. I won't show you all the discs, it's quite an arse to get them out, but yeah, really, really happy to own this. That's another thing I talked about for way too long, but yeah, really happy to own this. There's a few more I want to get. I actually have one more on order of this sort of style packaging for a show that ADV put out, which I didn't realise even got a compact release like this, so that's cool. I don't know if there are too many more after that. There's a few. Shadow Skill is one I'd really like to get as well, the TV series for that. Okay, should we get these out of the way? I made a discotheque order on RahXephon, stuff I don't believe I've shown yet, so I won't tell you what those were, but some discotheque Blu-rays, and I decided, although I don't know if I'll do this in the future, because obviously I didn't really factor in the fact that it would up the weight of the package that I'd have to eventually send to me. Because basically I can buy stuff off RahXephon, send it to my PO box that, as long as it's over $50 on RahXephon, obviously you get free shipping. Goes to my PO box, I then send it to me. It can be cheaper. It's not always cheaper for me, but it can be cheaper occasionally. But when I was on RahXephon, I was like, well, I could throw in a couple of their stupidly cheap DVDs they still have for sale, things that have been lying around their warehouse for ages for like $2.99, $1.99 and stuff like that. I thought I would do that. I chucked in a couple of things. In the end, I'm not sure I would do this again, because again, it upped the weight of the package, which meant it cost more to send to me than maybe it would have done otherwise, which meant these were more expensive than just $2. But should we get the embarrassing one out of the way? I mean, it's a complete TV series from like 1999, and it comes in a nice compact DVD here. It was obviously brand new, and yeah, I really don't think I would enjoy this in any way, but I picked up Colourful, the original Colourful, the one that's not about suicide, it's about that. So, if it wasn't obvious already. So yeah, this is a short TV series that was made in 1999. Only comes on a single disc because yeah, the running time's only 2 hours. But yeah, somewhat infamous. Yeah, I mean it's got some nice compact. It was, I think this is literally on sale on Right Stuff for like $1.50 or something. So I don't know, I was just like, again, this is one that came out around that time, like I said, when they were re-releasing things and compact releases. This came out in like 2009. It's got a dub and everything. I don't know, I was just like, it's $1.50. I'll just shove it in the basket, why not? Another one that I wanted to do that with, this does, I believe, have a really cool release. I think this is it. I'm not sure actually. That might actually be a different film. I think that's a different film actually. I was going to say I know there's a movie that came out that's similar looking to this that has a super awesome slipcover on it. I don't believe it's this movie because I hope not to some degree. Anyway, I don't think I'd ever go out of my way to rebuy it if this is the same movie. The movie I'm talking about here is Sin, the motion picture. So yeah, I picked this up again. I think it's the same era, like 2009. This is just another one with it. Like I said, re-releasing their catalogue, trying to get stuff out there in more compact, cheaper releases, I guess, for them, simple releases, and just trying to make money before they went out of business, unfortunately, or what, bankrupt, or whatever the hell happened to ADV. But yeah, Sin, the motion picture, sci-fi film. I don't know, again, it was like $1.50 or $2 or something for a brand new copy, so I was like, yeah, why not? I'm not ever going to find this cheaper than that. Like if I bought this second hand on eBay UK, if it ever appeared, it would probably cost me about that price, if not a bit more. So yeah, it looks interesting. It's only an hour long. I'm pretty sure this is relatively well rated, considering, like, not amazing or anything, but I don't think this is considered terrible. Like, it's passable. And yeah, it's only an hour long, 4x3 SD digital. Yeah, curious about it. I'm sure it'll be fun for an hour. And it does look like the sort of thing I would probably enjoy. I don't know if I will, but it looks like something I might like. So yeah, I decided to pick that up. Okay, following on from that then, we've got another compact release, re-release sort of thing. But we'll talk about some other stuff first. So something I picked up a long time ago and really enjoyed was the Funimation edition of Record of Lodoss War on Blu-ray with the original OVA, and then the TV series prequel slash remake, not prequel, sequel slash remake of Record of Lodoss War, Chronicles of the Heroic Knight, which comes in this on DVD in a Blu-ray case, and then obviously the Blu-ray for the original. I really wish, this was quite expensive when this came out, the original set. Obviously you can get this in an Essentials release now, a lot cheaper, but this was quite expensive, and I really wish it came in something more than just a card thing. And I know some people really like this style of packaging when they make it look like a book. And again, this is a fantasy series, so it kind of makes sense, but I don't know, I don't like this packaging, really. I would have preferred something a bit more, with more art, basically, rather than just gold border and dark blue, but whatever. But yeah, basically I watched Lodoss War, really enjoyed it, then I immediately followed up with a TV series, and then I went and watched the set in the same universe, kind of follow-up, kind of not, Legend of Crystania movie and OVA. I watched those on my media PCs, I didn't own them on DVD, and I'd always wanted to track down a particular version of this. It originally got released across 2 volumes, one for the motion picture, one for the OVA. Hopefully I'll put covers up here somewhere and you'll see what those look like. But the version I really wanted was quite hard to find. It was somewhat rare, and it was just trying to find it for a good cheap price. I eventually did. I picked this up for about $10 on eBay quite a while ago now. I think it was almost last year I picked this up, but or earlier this year. Yeah, I think it was earlier this year actually, but I picked up Legend of Crystania, the complete collection. As I actually watched these on my media PC after watching Lodoss War and stuff, and I actually, honestly, did not like these. But I did like the whole Lodos thing enough. I kind of wanted them in here for completion's sake. I would watch these again. I do really like the art style for this. It's kind of grown on me. It's weird. It's a lot different to the original. The original OVA and TV series, but I did enjoy the art style in retrospect. I'm not sure I enjoyed it at the time, but I definitely have in retrospect kind of appreciated it looking different. The main problem I have with this is just I don't really see the point of it. Again, it's set in the same universe and stuff, or the same fantasy realm. I think it's set way in the future, but it's like yeah, like one of the main characters from the TV series, I think it was Avram or something, I can't remember his name, is like completely different in this, like, or not quite character assassination sort of stuff, but it's quite extreme change for the character and stuff like that. But yeah, I just kind of really wanted this release because it looks super nice. I love the emerald green here, and I love the I don't know if you can, it's quite coming out on the camera, it looks like it's kind of blown out, but you see like the border around the outside. I can't remember what type of pattern this is called, like the crisscross type stuff. It just looks super nice, this release, much nicer than the older ADV releases. Obviously this is ADV as well, but you know, the older versions, which I hopefully have shown you. We have an advertisement here for Sergeant Frog. Obviously this is quite interesting actually, to some degree. I don't know if this would have correlated time-wise, but timeline-wise, but Tokyo Pop putting out the manga. The interesting thing is, obviously ADV were the company that originally licensed Sergeant Frog, the anime, but they never got to put any of it out before going out of business, and obviously it ended up going to Funimation in the end. But anyway, the discs are also really nice as well. It's just a much nicer release, and it comes with just a single case. So yeah, I really wanted to track this one down. It was a kind of a holy grail for me for a while, and yeah, I'm happy to have gotten it in such nice condition for a very cheap price, which is very handy indeed. So yeah, Legend of Crystania, not something I'd highly recommend, as really it's not amazing at all. It's quite bad in fact, but for the completionist, yeah, this is kind of something I really wanted. There is obviously also, and this is the thing I kind of wanted to talk about earlier, even though we've been going for a hell of a long time at this point, but yeah, one of the other series that I did own in this, I want to get the thing so this is easier to hold. Where is it? There it is. So yeah, one of the other series that I owned in this sort of packaging was Louis the Rune Soldier, which I didn't realise at the time. I saw that series years and years ago. That was also a Lodos War series. That series is set in the land of Lodos, or the you know, that universe. I wasn't aware of that. That series is basically like Slayers. It's very similar to Slayers, and it got released over like 6 volumes, and then it got 2 re-releases from ADV, both in big Finpack sets. I don't understand why they did that. You did a 6-volume release without an art box. That's why the version I ended up picking up, I assume, came in one of those metal art boxes, because it never got an art box. Then you do a Finpack release in a nice blue packaging. It looked quite nice. Again, I'll hopefully find pictures. And then they followed it up like a year to 18 months later with another version which comes in like this neon yellow / green thing. It looks kind of ugly to me. I would never want this version. And then they never followed it up with a compact release, so there is no, you know, DVD release like this for I can't remember what the series is freaking called now. No, it's completely jumped out my head. Louis the Rune Soldier. There it is. It came back. There is no compact release like this, which is super frustrating. I would really like to own that show again. Now that, especially now I know it's part of this Lodos stuff, I would really like to get that. I would like to get Grand Crest War. I would really like to get the Aniplex of America version for that, because it looks kind of nice, even though it's not chipboard cases. But it's super expensive. There is a cheaper version here in the UK, so I'll probably pick that up at some point. But yeah, maybe on Monday. Well, that'd be a good show for Discotheque to pick up, I think. Louis the Rune Soldier, standard definition Blu-ray. I feel that's a solid show. Yeah, like Slayers. I feel like that's a title that may not be on their radar, but it's a show that I feel like they should pick up. There would be a demand for a nice compact release of that. Certainly it's something I would love to purchase, so I would hope I'm not the only one. Again, like I said, it never got a compact release. I don't even think there's a compact release in the UK or Australia either. I don't think there's a compact English release for that series, so it'd be nice to get one. Right. As if this video wasn't long enough, we've now got two art boxes to go through. Yeah, art boxes. Such a weird thing with art boxes and me. Like I said, back in the day, I was super focused on buying volumes and art boxes because I really liked having the extra artwork. I liked having the original releases. They came with extras and tons of extras, be it physical or on the disc that, you know, compact re-releases don't have. Just things like that. But I ended up just having too many. You know, I had so many, and a lot of them for shows that I don't really need that stuff for. So I sold a bunch, and there are some that I just regret buying. So I had two art boxes here that were put out by ADV. One is one that I never owned, and another one is one that I'm very happy to have back in my collection. We'll focus on the other one last. So this is the one I've never owned before. This is a weird purchase for me to make right now. Basically, because I mean, I'll show you the compact release that I did own on DVD and still do. That is a Megazone 23, the complete collection on DVD. And yeah, obviously I've backed the Animego Blu-ray Kickstarter, which is supposed to come this year. I'm guessing it's probably going to come early next year at this point. Especially with everything else that's going on in the world. I'm not very confident that that will arrive before Christmas as much as I'd like it to. But yeah, I have that on pre-order or order, and I'm looking forward to it immensely. But someone in the UK, again, on eBay UK, was selling an art box that would go for a lot of money back in the day, and it just never appeared on eBay cheap when I was looking at art boxes back in the day either. And it was, again, like Mythical, Loki, Ragnarok or whatever, it was just something I was never able to obtain. And I saw someone selling this on eBay UK in very nice condition, with all the extras intact, or the main extra intact, which I'll show in a minute, for just £14. So yeah, Megazone 23 in the art box. Because I obviously needed this. I already own it on DVD, it's coming on Blu-ray soon. I obviously needed this as well. I know, this is one that will just be up on display. You know, I'm a collector of anime releases, and there's just certain things that, even though I don't need them as such, I want them because I just like the idea of having them and owning them. Like, I won't do it for everything, but there are certain things I would like to do it for. And this is one of them. When I see it, you know, I'm going to actively go out my way to get this stuff necessarily, although the other one I did. But yeah, it was just something that I wanted to get, and it's in really nice condition. So we got Volume 1 here. The weird thing about Megazone 23, I don't know what this is about, but ADV were forced, so far as I can tell, to basically use the Part 3 artwork for their releases. Like, both of these have the Part 3 artwork, and the interesting thing about that, so basically Megazone 23 is 3 OVAs, although it's actually 4. There's the original OVA, the second one, Part 2, and then there's Part 3, which is actually split into 2. So you got Part 3, Part 1, and Part 3, Part 2, just to make it very confusing. But weirdly, Part 3 is the least popular part of Megazone 23, by far, from what I understand. Like, I enjoyed it, but again, it was probably my least favourite as well. I like some of the art in it, I like the idea of it, but it's not as good as the other two. But yeah, for some reason, again, like, all the artwork, even though it was like the last part of the show, all the promo artwork that ADV seemed to have available for their compact releases, because they did 2 releases of this. There's a red one I've got here and a green one, which hopefully again I'll put up here somewhere. And yeah, both of them use part 3. Whatever. Anyway, so yeah, here we have a part 1. Now these are just in mint condition. Like, everything's in here, and it's just, like I said, in mint condition. And I've got a poster here, and like, so we've got a ton of stuff on the back. A nice poster. They're very nice. Very nice. And yeah, again, like, it's just 14 quid to get something that is normally a lot of money. And the crazy thing is, and I kind of wish I'd bought some scissors now, because the crazy thing is part 2 and part 3 are still brand new and sealed in the box. So maybe I'll save opening these for another time if I do an unboxing, which I'd like to do some more unboxings. I know I probably won't get around to it, but just in case I do, I think I'll just leave these sealed for now. If you want to see what the discs look like and stuff, I'm sure there's an unboxing that someone else has done on YouTube somewhere. But yeah, they even have the old sticker on them. I want to keep these stickers. I don't know about the Right Stuff one. Maybe it's kind of a cool sticker. I'd like to save these stickers somehow. But especially the Anime Network one. I've not seen that sticker before. And it's just kind of cool. Just a part of, you know, anime history in the West to some degree. Yeah. As you know, occasionally I even keep these things on the top for some reason. I honestly don't know why I do that. Just a force of habit at this point. If they're there, I try and save them and just stick them on the inside for some reason. I have no idea why. You might have seen it on my Discotheque releases, because they're like the only company that still do stickers like that now, pretty much. Anyway, so yeah. Still brand new and sealed. These came out a very, very long time ago, like 2003, 2004, somewhere like that. 2004. So yeah, these are 16 years old and still brand new and sealed. Kind of crazy. And then we've also got the mouse pad, which was the extra that came in the art box, in unused condition. Nice. So yeah, and for just 14 quid for something that classic 80s OVA sci-fi in very, very nice condition, I couldn't resist it. I just couldn't. I was like, that's something I've always wanted, and certainly did want back in the day, but was never able to obtain, and now I have the opportunity to get it very cheap and in pretty nice condition. The only damage is a very small crease, and the light sort of catches it there. You can see it on the, just here, like a curved crease like that. That's it. That's the only damage on it. It's a shame it's on the spine, but there you go. But yeah, other than that, it's in pretty much mint condition, like outside of like the usual little scuffs around the edges. So yeah, very happy with that. 26 minutes plus whatever the first part is. Holy crap, this video is long, as always. The last thing is very cool, in my opinion. Kinda. I shouldn't hype it up too much. One of my favourite ever anime series is a Bones series, which was a total rip-off of Evangelion. I used to own in the Artbox. Actually, I tell you what, I used to own a bootleg copy, one of those perfect collection digipack things with like the frosted slipcovers. I'll see if I can find a picture somewhere. That's how I originally watched some of my earliest anime. I didn't realise they were bootlegs. At the time I thought they were Asian English releases, and yeah, I used to own about 20 of those. That's how I watched, again, I've talked about this before, that's how I first watched Fullmetal Alchemist, and Scrap Princess, and Chrono Crusade, and Bleach, and Yu-Gi-Oh! And RahXephon. And I used to own that, and then I used to own the series in the Artbox, although it was missing something in the Artbox, I believe. I can't quite remember. I think it was. And like one of the extras. But anyway, I sold that, and when I was selling off my art boxes, it was a hard decision, but I was buying this to replace it, which I've shown multiple times. This is my favourite anime set in my whole collection. This is the RahXephon Japanese Blu-ray box, which has English dub and sub support. It's absolutely gorgeous. I'll show this as many times as I can make it allow myself to do so. It's absolutely gorgeous. I love that set so much. But over the years, as I've thought about how my collection is going, like, has developed, and how I have kept a portion of my art boxes, and how in the future I would like to have just a couple of more shelves going on the wall, and having the top shelves dedicated just to art boxes all the way around, and One set that I'd always regretted getting rid of was the RahXephon set. I just really liked it. Now RahXephon got a couple of Artbox releases. There was one that would house the normal volumes that you bought separately, and then there was one they did later on, which was the limited edition one, which came with everything. It came with all of the 7 volumes, plus the movie, plus a small booklet. Originally I didn't have the booklet, and I believe my box was slightly damaged, not terribly, but slightly. Recently, or I say recently, it was actually almost a year ago now that I think about it. November of last year, I got in contact with a guy who was selling some art boxes, a lot of them. I'd still like to buy a couple more that he's got. I hope to do that in time. But I bought a bunch, like last November. I think I spent about £200. They were very cheap. I've just remembered an ADV art box that I bought of him, but I haven't shown here, and I can't be bothered to get it. This video is long enough as it is. I'll add that in a different video. But yeah, I just remembered that. But yeah, obviously, I shouldn't keep putting it off. We know what I'm going to show. I picked up the RahXephon limited edition art box with the shiny foil on it and the beautiful artwork. And yeah, this is just one of my favourite ever shows. I rewatched this show this year, and for the first time, I fully understood it. I've watched this show. I've only watched this show 3 times in since the 12 years ago that I think I first watched it, or around at least 10 years ago that I first watched it. And yeah, I've only seen it 3 times in that time period, but I fully understood it for the first time. I'm pretty darn sure. I don't think I was I rewatched it and I wasn't really confused at all. It is because, again, it's an Evangelion-like show. It's very high concept craziness towards the end, but it's a very fun show that I really enjoy. I much prefer it to Evangelion, like considerably so. I think the one defining thing that makes this better than Evangelion, in my opinion, is the characters are really likable. The problem with Evangelion is most of the characters aren't likable at all. That's kind of the point, some people might say. But for me, I think RahXephon has... And RahXephon has some kind of cooler concept. I mean, it's absurd, but Tokyo Jupiter, this thing that's, you know, over Tokyo and that completely enshrouds Tokyo, and Tokyo is now like 15 years behind the rest of the world, and the people inside Tokyo think that the whole world is now Tokyo and the rest of the world got destroyed. And on the outside of Tokyo Jupiter, where the real world does still exist, they call it Tokyo Jupiter because the thing that's enshrouding it looks like Jupiter. It's absurd, it's stupid, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. I don't think they ever fully talk about why it looks like Jupiter. I don't think that's ever explained. But it's just an absurd concept, and an absurd thing, Tokyo Jupiter. But it's just cool. When you see it, it just looks really cool. And I think RahXephon is just a really, really cool series. Super interesting series, which I love, with some amazing art style. And yeah, I just really wanted to have this art box back in my collection. It's a 10 out of 10 series for me. I've fluctuated with it over the years. I think I originally gave it like a 10, and I gave it like a 9, and then I think I gave it an 8 because I hadn't seen it for a long time, and I was like, well, it was kind of confusing, and I just hadn't seen it for a while. But eventually I, bumped it back up to a 10, and then I rewatched it for a 3rd time, and just fell in love with it all over again. It's just one of my favourite series. I won't do a full unboxing because there's a lot of it, but I just wanted to show you like the part of the reason I wanted it back. Like, the art box looks really nice. All the cases are white cases, and on the inside we've got some really nice looking discs, and it comes with these booklets which look kind of strange. Like, they have this like frosted outer cover, like partly see-through frosted covers on the outside, and on the inside there's like well, these ones just character guides. Some of them go in a little bit deeper, but yeah, we've got like character guides and stuff. This is the stuff I miss. Like, you don't get stuff like this anymore. Like, this is what the original volume releases had. They would almost, at least back in the very heyday of like 2002 to about 2005, they would always come with like these booklets and like occasionally extras. More than that, like maybe a poster or like an iron-on t-shirt thing, or a t-shirt. I do actually have the t-shirt for this. This didn't come with a t-shirt, but my original release did, and I still have that. But Yeah, but yeah, again, like that shiny foil, like logos on the front and on the side. It's just a very nice release and something I just really wanted to own again. And the one thing that this has, which I guess I'll show you this first, actually, or maybe I don't know. Anyway, this is the movie again, the movie version. I can't remember why I was wanting to show you this now. I mean, it has a. I don't know why it comes with an extra disc. I have 2 discs. I don't know why that is. I assume there must have been something wrong with the original disc, but I don't know which one is the original one, which one isn't. It doesn't really matter. I would always watch the Blu-ray for this now anyway. This is just, you know, a collector thing. I would never actually watch this on DVD now, because the Blu-ray for the movie is actually in HD, unlike the TV series, which is upscaled. Yeah, but this is why I wanted to show you this. So you got a really nice booklet here again, just like really cool. I don't know if you can see it. So we've got like the, and then you got like the proper thing on the inside. So all the white petals are like blue on this one. Like they go over where the white, not petals, sorry, like feathers and stuff. And then on the inside we got some more like character guide stuff. But then we've got a stuff about the actual RahXephons and stuff. But then we got like a story overview and like a commentary on it from like the director and stuff. And like a bunch of like crazy timeline shit. RahXephon is kind of confusing. So yeah. Oh, that's like, no, wait a minute. Yeah, that's the character correlation maps. That's all the relations in the show and stuff. It's kind of crazy. But yeah. So there's that. Which I also wanted to show you. And another thing that I wanted to share is the fact that this particular box set came with a booklet originally. Now my original version I had was missing this, and it was always bugging me. I tried to track it down separately for years and just couldn't, and then obviously I eventually sold the set anyway. But if I was ever going to pick this up again, one, I wanted it in a really as close to mint condition as I could get, and this is pretty much that. But I also wanted the big booklet that comes with it. So this is the motion picture booklet again. It's kind of the same thing we just saw, but just with way more stuff. way more information and interviews and behind the scenes stuff, like a whole critique of RahXephon, and that bit I showed you before was like a talk about RahXephon, interviews with like the voice actors and stuff, like an interview with Maya Sakamoto, who's one of my favourite voice actors, and she also actually, yeah, she is she's a Reika in this. She also does the amazing theme song for RahXephon. And then there's a whole, in case you're like struggling to keep up, there's a whole thing about the story broken up into parts, so you can try and keep on top of it. And then towards the back, somewhere, wait a minute, okay, maybe it's in the middle. No, I just skipped over it. Yeah, in the middle we got some art book type stuff as well. So yeah, just something I really wanted back in the collection. I'm very happy to have back in the collection. Love me some RahXephon. Love me some RahXephon indeed. In fact, something I brought out for this video, which is now absurdly long, but I feel like we're here, we'll do it, fuck it, who cares. My voice hasn't died just yet, so yeah, next up, I just realised, yeah, I've had the camera plugged in this whole time, and it wasn't plugged in. So thankfully it was recording, but yeah, the battery was slowly dying. I was wondering why just then, but yeah, it was plugged in, sorry, but I hadn't switched it on is what I meant. Anyway. So yeah, I rewatched RahXephon this year, loved it. And I decided after watching it to go and pick up some stuff I really wanted to get for the series that I just hadn't got around to doing. So a couple of things I still would like to get. I'd love to get the manga. Again, I don't know how good I don't think the manga is very good from what I understand, but it's only 3 volumes, it's relatively cheap. I would like to get it. They also did a novel version. I'm curious about the novels. I don't read many like proper books. I read comics and manga. I've read some books, but not like literally I can count them on one hand. I know it's bad, but I can literally count the books I've read on one hand. And like 4 of them would be Dark Crystal books. And the other one would be a book I read as a kid. So yeah, again, I'm just very much a visual person. I like anime and stuff, you know, and I like comics and manga. But I am quite interested in the novels, light novel type stuff. I'm curious about maybe picking up the Blood Plus novels and maybe the RahXephon one. The RahXephon one is very expensive. It's long out print. I think RahXephon also has novels, which again, curious about, but very expensive. Anyway, and the other thing I'd really like to get for RahXephon is the figure of the RahXephon itself, because it looks really cool. But the stuff I did pick up, should shake the camera, is some art books and guides. So one thing which is really, really cheap to find, but I was always kind of put off about it because of a certain thing, which I'll talk about. But I decided to pick it up because, again, it's really cheap. It's the RahXephon Bible, which is this is fully translated into English, like available into English, like what is Tokyo Jupiter. There you can see the Tokyo Jupiter thing I was talking about. So we've got Tokyo is underneath this giant thing that looks like Jupiter for some reason. I guess it is explained in here. I can't quite remember if it was explained in the show. It probably was, and I just kind of forgot about it. But yeah, this is a guide to help you keep up with the show. But one of the stupid things about the RahXephon Bible is is the fact that this thing doesn't take you through the whole series. It takes you up to about episode 18, and that's it. It doesn't explain the ending or the last 8 episodes. Again, like it's bizarre. I don't know. This is a full translation, from what I understand, of the Japanese release for this, and yeah, it's kind of bizarre. As you can, I don't know if you just heard my stomach just growl like crazy. Oh, there's that figure. What's that figure? Is I can't see. You see that? Yeah. And some other, and there's also the RahXephon manga as well, just there. Yeah. Anyway, we don't need to talk about this for ages, but yeah, I decided to pick this up because it's really cheap, even though it only covers 18 episodes. I figured it's like £3 or something cheap secondhand. I just decided to pick it up. It's got some quite nice artwork in it and stuff. So yeah, that's that. But one thing I always kind of wanted to get and have obtained is some proper art books for this, because there's some beautiful artworks for RahXephon. So I picked up the RahXephon official illustrations from Mandarake. So you've got the proper art book here, and I don't want to do a full, like, because I want to eventually do like a proper art book video for this. I probably, given the amount of time we spent on this video, I probably should have just left it for that. But yeah, that's black and white. Let's start with something that's actually kind of cooler. Start near the beginning, shall we? See if I can flip through the beginning a little bit. This is kind of hard to do because I can't really see once I start holding it up. Yeah, this is not going very well, is it? So yeah, we've got some very nice illustrations for RahXephon. I hope you can see those because I can't see the preview screen when I'm holding it up. But yeah, RahXephon has some really, really beautiful illustrations made for it, and just I really like the character designs, and just the whole artwork of this show is really, really cool. I forget who the official illustrator is for the show. Is it on here in English at all? Doesn't look like it. But yeah, this just some beautiful artwork was made for this series. I hope you can see that. And yeah, this was a relatively cheap art book to pick up. I can't remember how much this cost. It was like less than 20 quid, and I mean, look at it, it's amazing. So yeah, there's that. And then I picked this one up on a whim, kinda. I don't know, actually this does have the this is like the sketches that were done by the original character designer, Yamada Akihiro, or Akihiro Yamada. Yeah, so this is a much more, this has got like a canvas like matte finish to it. It's very posh. But the art book itself, I mean, I'm kind of mixed on it. It has some nice illustrations at the front, but these illustrations are in the other book as well. So and then towards the back is all of the sketch designs for all the characters and stuff. It is very nice, but this was actually quite a lot more expensive. I think this was closer to 30 quid or something. I do like this stuff, and this is one of my favourite series, but again, I prefer the one with the more pretty pictures. Because I'm not drawing myself at the moment. I have drawn in the past, but it's not something I focus on. But you know, if I were ever to do so, this is a nice thing that I could use as reference. So yeah, very, very nice. Interesting thing about this I just noticed is this reads like the way that we read books. This is the front cover, this is the back. It opens right to left. No, left to right is how we read, isn't it? And they read right to left. So yeah, this is not flipped, which is interesting. Anyway, my stomach is growling like crazy because it's hungry, so I need to go and feed it. And this video has been going on for freaking ages. If you've made it to the end, thank you so much for watching me ramble and ramble and ramble. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got something out of it. If there's anything that you're a fan of, or you own, or you think was really cool, or you'd like to know, more about anything I've talked about here, leave a comment in the description. Should I do the like and subscribe thing? I've never done that before. Like and subscribe. I never bother with that stuff. But yeah, thank you for watching so much. I really appreciate it. And if you have made it to the end, I would really love for you to leave a comment as well. I really appreciate it. I do like reading those. So yeah, anyways, thank you for watching, and I'll hopefully see you in the not too distant future, although I'm not sure you'll want to see me too soon, because I have so much more stuff to talk about. These videos could all be super long, but hopefully not as long as this one has been, because holy crap. So yeah, I've been Blaze. Thank you for... Who thought anyone could make, and I think almost close to an hour, if not over an hour, Picart's video about ADV in 2020? Am I the only person that could possibly do that? That might be true. That might actually be true. So yeah, I've been Blaze. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.